Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. How are my people now? Amaka, I finally responded to you on LinkedIn, Abby. Good evening, Esther. Good evening, Sharon. Welcome, Alex Wonder. Abimbola Ajorin, welcome. Where is Awolmate? Mayomipe? Where is Shinyere? Where's Vivian? Go and tell them to wake up. That it's time for class. Good evening, Vivian. I've seen you like this. Oh, I didn't grant your request. Okay, I will check it and grant your request. Apologies. Olapade, good evening. Oh, I've not seen you like 2 times now, Abby. If I'm correct. How are you doing? And how was our day? For me, my day was busy. I've not even had I've not had food today. I'm very hungry. You can see that I didn't come with all my powers today. I need food for my powers to be complete. I can't just wait to run off and go and look for something to eat. How are you guys doing? Precious, how's it going? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How many of us are excited to be in class again today?
At numbers 31 is in.
Good evening, my people. Good evening. Go and knock their doors. All the other people go and knock their door and tell them it's time for class. And they should wake up. Arise. Arise, all people, and comfort. Faith, how are you? You're super pumped. Great. But me, I didn't come with all of my powers today. So I don't know. I left in Daboski today. I didn't come with all of my power. Hunger has taken most of my power away. I should receive online hot food. You to receive online hot food. Should I not for this place that I am in now? Should I afford that for food? But this is my village. You can't order for food. But it's all fine. Johan Idowu, Johanna, how are you? Like I'm seeing new faces today. Oh. Today just to people about our Indaboski powers. John Omon, welcome. Where is Praise? Praise, where are you? I've not seen Praise today. Funke, good evening. How's it going? Covenant, how are you? Glory. Why does it feel like I know all of you guys personally? Like I've seen you before. Okay, they said we shouldn't use guys. Guys sounds, forgive me. Don't worry, I'm a village boy. Mosumola, good evening. Good evening, Praise. I've asked after you. How's it going? All right, so today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, right? We'll be talking about dev tools, Devflow tools, Devflow tools. Chiamaka, good evening. How was your day? Tell me, how was your day, everybody? Give me a gist about your day. I've told you about my own. My own was very busy that I forgot to eat. And now I'm very hungry. Tell me about your own day. How was your day? I'm waiting to see now. How was your day? How was your day? How was your day? I mean, people don't want to tell me about your day. And I told you about my own. Ah man, you people have broke my heart. Nobody's telling me about their day. Oh, Gracious too was busy, Abby. That means we are together in this. Stress free. I envy you, Musmola. I envy you. Martha, where have you been? Welcome. Good evening. Your day has been boring. Oh, jeez. I would have given you some of my own stress. Okay, so let me start. Let me start by saying that, you know, today, busy in the kitchen. Give me some food now. I'm hungry. All right. Irene Jones, how are you? All right. So guys, this is it. Let me prepare your mind. I might be saying a lot of jargons today, right? When I say jargons, some of these terms can look very, very complex, right? And it's fine, right? It's fine. I know generally through the journey we might have thrown a lot of, you know, concepts, a lot of jargons at you. It's fine. It's fine. I understand, and it's completely normal, right? It's normal for us to. Sorry, Irene, forgive me. I'm a village boy. All right. So, and the truth is, you see this dev tool that we want to talk about today. mm, It is normal. It is very normal for you not to know everything. It is very normal for you not to understand, right? I didn't start off knowing all of these things that I'll be sharing with you. It is very, very normal. Mm. Even as I am right now, yes, after 5 years in product space, right, there's still a lot of things I don't know. Oh, sorry, Tolani. Mine was stressful, very stressful, very, very. Right now, I'm not even done with my day, but I'm very, very hungry. I didn't remember to even have breakfast today, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I believe I'll draw some strength from everyone. So we'll have a swell time. So as I was saying, right, it's very normal not to seem to understand, but you know that I'm always here to make it simple for you guys, right? For everyone. Sorry, I'm trying to be cautious to stop using you guys. I'm going to make it very easy for you, for everyone, and I'm going to try to make sure that everybody gets it, right? But I'm just saying that you see, dev tools, it's okay not to know them. It's okay not to, right? It sounds like a lot of jargon. You might start to hear something like GitHub, start to hear something like Selenium, start to hear some some jargons, right? So it's okay, right? Even me that I've used 5 years in the product space, there are a lot of things I don't know. There are a lot of these tools that I don't even know what it is. You get. So I'm just saying that it's okay, right? It's okay. But then it's my job to make sure that development, dev is short for development, right? It's short for development. So, so I mean, there are a lot of software development tools that you might hear that you might not know that might look weird. It's just normal. Me myself, there are a lot of development tools that I don't know after 5 years in this space, right? So, and if you feel like you don't know anything right now, it's a good sign. Honestly, it's a good sign. It's just a signal that Mary, thank you for stumbling in. Thank you. So, right, the goal is not that you should know everything. Honestly, I just want us to learn new thing day after day. Right, we become better day after day. Right. I didn't know everything in a day. I started learning and I'm still learning. I'm 5 years into product space and I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I still learned today, right? So if you feel like you don't know anything right now, it's good. If you feel like everything I'm going to say today is a bit over your head, which I will try to make sure that I break it down, right? It's fine to feel, but then it's just it's a good sign, right? You should be even happy that you feel like you don't know. It's a sign that you're going through a new curve and you are going through a new experience, right? Steadily you get to learn it. Steadily you get to improve, right? And I said all of that to just kind of prepare your mind, and see me as one person who is also learning. While I'm teaching you, I'm also refreshing my own self, and I'm also learning, right? Yeah, I know it's fine not to be easy. It's not even expected to be easy, right? But it's a step at a time. And you guys are really trying, because now look at me. I'm trying to bring 5 years of experience to you in just a very short space. Do you get? So I'm trying to compress my 5 years of experience and put it on you. Sure you get. Sure you get. So it can be awesome, it can be hectic, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. What me I did not learn in one day, I want to teach you in one day. Sure you get. It can be a lot. But then it's a good sign. So I don't expect you even to even know everything now, right? I don't expect you to know everything now. All I'm just doing is I'm going to share with you. I expect you to take a bit and gives you, it opens you up to learning some more. Do you get? So don't worry, God will help every one of us. So, and I've always told you my story. I don't know if I've told you my story, or I'm waiting for the mentoring period so that I can share a lot of heartfelt stuff with you, and give you some conversations around how you can navigate the career path, right? So, but it's fine not to know. It's fine not to know. It's fine not to know. Even today, I still learned. Last week, someone called me that they want to do some things with some high risk merchants, blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't know what that was. But it was simple. Like I've told you, product managers, we do our research. I said, okay, okay, okay. I played along as if I knew what it was saying. As soon as it was done, I went to start to ask questions, ask people, what do you what do you think? What do you know about what is this? What is this? By the time I had a follow-up call with this person, I was talking to that person as though I knew what it was saying before. No, I did not know. But it was just a sign for me that I'm going to learn new things. Now, if you ask me tomorrow what I learned last week, I can easily tell you, and I will talk as if I had known it for many years. Meanwhile, I just learned it last week. So all this my story is just to tell you that it's okay not to know, but then it just opens you up to learning some new things, right? So today I'm going to be telling you a lot of new things. Hmm? I know you are not a developer, you're a product manager. I'm going to be telling you some of the tools that they use. Some of the tools that they use, and it's fine, right? It's fine not to get it. I believe that you people trust me enough to make it simple for you guys, right? Right? You trust me, right? That I will make it easy for you to understand, right? I want to see your comments. I want to see your comments to be sure that I was actually communicating. Okay. Thank you, Praise. Thank you. So that's relieving for me. So I'll be sharing my screen and we'll be picking up from where we stopped. Or before we start to shoot. All right, thank you, Esther. Thank you, Faith. Before we start to shoot, right? I believe that we have seen ourselves repeatedly for some times now. So, what did you learn in the last class? The scripture talks about seed that falls on rocky sand, seeds that fall on good soil. Eddie said maybe. Jesus, that means you didn't trust me. You don't trust me, but it's fine. So I want to be sure that every of the seed I am throwing is actually falling on a good soil. Oh, all right. You're welcome, Mary. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome, Fumilayo. So, what did you learn last week? Let me see if you still remember. If you have not used it to Iteba, I'm looking at the comment section. What did you learn last week? I knew we talked about APIs. We talked about front end, back end. The last class we talked about what did we talk about here? Cloud, internet. We talked about a lot of things, and I gave you a lot of analogy. So I hope that you still remember. All right, all right. How data travels on the internet. All right, great. Server, client. Okay. All right. Who else? I'm waiting. I need 3 more persons and we go into today's class. Anoluwapo, good evening. So I'm waiting. How backend and front end works. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Fumilayo. Who else? One new thing I learned was how data travels. Okay. Maybe I should even ask questions, right? What is packets? What are packets? Internet and cloud. All right. Packets. Difference between internet and intranet. Okay. APIs are like intermediaries between, but great. All right. Packets. Okay. So what is packet about? Packets are similar bits of data. Thank you. Thank you, Praise. All right. So I think packets are pieces of data. All right, great. Thank you, Glory. So I'm happy. A data broken into smaller pieces. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You also learn secured and not secure protocols. That's the HTTPS and HTTP. All right. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. My people are learning. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. So I can shoot. All right, like I've said, I didn't come with all my powers today. Bear with me. Hunger is a big deal and it's wiping me seriously. But then, you guys are my topmost priority, and let us dive. Come with me as we journey into today's class. All right, where is that? My slide. I'm coming. All right. Okay, so we can shoot, right? Let's go into um, today's miracle. Let me know as soon as you can see my screen. So today we'll be looking at dev tools, right? Dev tools, and they are very simple, right? Very, very simple. Where are my people? Let them. Just give me a minute. Guys, can you see my screen? All right. So I believe you can see my screen now. Okay. How about now? Okay, great. So you should be able to see it now, I believe. Okay, great, great. So I think I can shoot, right? So Devflow tools, Devflow tools, they are simple, right? They are tools that are used to manage and optimize software development process. Now, all that one in one hand, right? They help team stay organized and ensure efficient project, right? So all I've said now, hold it in one hand, hold it like this, hold it in one of your fists. Let me try to explain, right? Let me try to explain all of that, my English to you. Now, there are different phases in product in development, right? In a development life cycle. It starts from the planning, right? There's a development workflow, right? From the planning to development to testing, deployment, right? And monitoring. Let me come again. So there are certain stages, right? In development workflow, right? Now, hold it in one hand. I told you that Devflow tools are used to manage and optimize software development process, Abi, right? So hold it in one hand, right? Don't use it to eat a bar. So, and I'm trying to explain this to you. So in development workflow, we have different phases, different stages. First, you plan, right? You plan. After you have planned, you now go to develop, right? You go into actual development. Now, after development, you test, right? After you have tested and it's good, you deploy, right? After you have deployed, you now monitor what you deploy. Now, let me explain a little bit more. Now, before you go into now, I told you that if I tell you that okay, following show, I want to build an app, right, or a software that would help people get food delivered to them, right? Before I will go into starting to build that actual app, there's always a planning phase, right? And that planning phase is that phase where we validate our idea. That planning phase is where we do all of our documentation, right? Now that's that planning phase where we come up with all our strategy, you plan, you do your documentation, you validate that idea. Now, when you leave that phase, you go into actual development. What do I mean by actual development? At this phase of your actual development, you have your engineers. You know, I've always told you that when it comes to development, we have a team of people that work together with you, right? We have the product designer, we have the front end engineer, the back end engineer, and your QA engineer. And I've also explained the role of these people to you, right? So we have the development phase. The development phase is where you start to write code, right? They start to write code. They start to build features and manage versions, right? So you have the development phase. So after they have written their code, right, and they have built whatever feature. So for example, I want to build that food app. Now I have made my planning, and now we want to start to build. Now I know that for the first sprint, we want to build onboarding. We want to build what's it called? Catalog, food catalog, right? So that means that someone somewhere has to write the code for onboarding. Now, when he's done writing the code, and when he's done writing the code, someone has to test. We need to test that what he has written, it makes sense. What he has built, makes sense. You understand? Whatever, when we have tested, we need to even put those things out so that people can use it, right? After we have put it out, now we need to still monitor and see that, okay, this thing that we put out is good, though. We get feedbacks and we see all of that. So for all of these phases, there are tools that we use for each of these phases. Do you get? So I also promised in the last class that I was going to show you some other things, some other dev tools like that we have in our Chrome browser and Safari and all of that. If time permits, I'll go into all of that. But I'm scared that I don't want to confuse you guys, right? But then I'll still show you. And I believe that I'll be able to break it down. All right. So all of these stages, they have tools. They have certain tools that we use. You understand? We have certain tools. For planning, there's a tool that we use. For development, there are certain tools that we use. For deployment, there are certain tools that we use. You know, for monitoring too, there are certain tools that we use. Do you get? So these are the tools that we want to consider in today's class. Hope you got it to this point. Or do you want me to come again? Did you get it to this point? If you get it to this point, let me know. Just type yes, I get it. All right. All right, great. So, like I mentioned, the key stage in the planning, the development, testing, deployment, that's like okay, matter. So, all right, great. So, I said that there are certain stages in development workflow, right? The planning, the development, the testing, the deployment, and monitoring, right? For the planning phase, that's where we set our goals, we gather our requirements, we do all of the documentations we want to do. Now, when it gets to the development phase, that's where your engineers, right? That's where they come in. They start to write code, they start to build features. Now, ideally, when they are done writing their code, there is a phase that is very important. Although should I say this on YouTube? Most Nigerian organizations, they don't really prioritize this. And I'm very serious. Ideally, there's something called automation testing, right? Where you test the quality of code. You check quality of code. Although what they do like PR reviews, right? PR reviews where the head of technology review the code, or one of your colleagues reviews your code. But normally, there are certain automated ways where we test codes to see the quality of codes, right? I think that I've only come across that when I was working with a certain UK-based organization, right? It was very important. It was very important. At the end of every of your code, they do unit testing. They test your code, right? So you test the code quality, and there are tools that are used for each of these phases, right? Deployment, you release updates. You see, version 1 has come outside, version 2 has come outside. We've deployed. I'm going to give you stories to corroborate all I'm saying, right? So after you have released your deployment, you also monitor. So for all of these phases, there are tools that are used, right? And those are the Devflow tools that we are talking about. Do you get it now? Hope everybody is clear now. Hope everybody is clear now. All right, Martha, hope you're clear. Martha, hope you are clear. Okay, great. Great. So now, Devflow tools. We have the project management tools. And that project management tools, is where you start your journey with, right? We have Jira, we have Trello, we have Asana, we have ClickUp, we have a number of them. And the reason why we use some of these tools is just to make sure that we are able to track what we're working on, right? To track what we're working on. Now, I'm going to show you quickly what Asana looks like, right? I'm going to show you quickly what Asana looks like. Please give me a minute. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I'm seeming to have like an emergency. Just give me a minute, please. I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize. I'm trying to attend to it. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. There was a call I couldn't pick, and it seemed like an emergency, so I had to just leave a message urgently. Apologies. I hope you forgive me. All right. So, like I was saying, project management is one basic aspect of our job, right? And we use some of these tools, project management tools, for our job, right? We use the likes of Jira. All right, we use the likes of Jira, we use the likes of Trello, we use the likes of Asana. You understand? We use ClickUp. And the reason why we use all of these things is to be able to organize our task, to track the progress, and to also facilitate collaboration. What do I mean? Let me quickly show you. So there's something called tax board, right? Where you create the tax for each person that is working with you on your team, and you assign their name to it, right? You attach your name to it, attach them to each of those tasks. That way, you are able to see whatever is doing at what time, right? You're also able to, plan sprint. You can have a backlog of things you want to do on your board, right? You can also monitor, the analytics, the performance of your team on that board. So for project management, right? For project management, we have Jira, Trello, Asana, ClickUp, and all of that. Let me show you. Let me show you what what one of them looks like. Which one is the quickest one I can pull up now? I can show you the ones I use for my day-to-day job. I don't want to be sued. I don't have too much money. But let me see. I think I have. I can pull up Asana. Just give me a minute while I try to pull it up. So just to show you what it looks like. All right. So can you see my screen? Oh, yeah. This is what I've cast me. All right. So, yeah, unfortunately, Asana has kicked my ass. Just hold on. Let me see if there's a way around it. Let me see. Let me see. I want to show you how it looks like so that so that it makes sense to you. Uh, these guys are para. They didn't even have, let me see if I can open up ClickUp. Hope you don't mind. Hope I'm not wasting your time with what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make sure that we get it. Hope I'm not wasting your time. I hope I'm not wasting your time. Oh. Hope I'm not wasting your time. Okay. Okay, great. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not supposed to be showing you this. All right. So as you can see now, this is a board. This is a project management tool, right? This is a project management tool. As you can see, it has to do, in progress, complete, right? To do, in progress, complete. So, and you can see that for each of these tasks, there's someone assigned to this task, right? So this is what a project management tool does for you. So click up here that I'm using as an example is a project management tool, right? You can see that there's a list of to do, right? There's a list of to do, right? There's a list of to do. You get there's a list of to do. So now, if this person picks up this task, we move this task from to do, move it to in progress. You get when it's done, moves it to completed. You can define your board as you want it. Now, the essence of this board is now I know that there's a list of to do, there's a backlog of things to do. User sign up, log in, complete profile. That's the list of things to do, right? So, so once they pick it up, they move each of these tasks. For example, if I am assigned to user sign up and my product manager has listed all my tasks for me, assign me to the tasks. As soon as I start to work on user sign up, I move these tasks from to do, I move it to in progress, right? When I'm done with it, I move it from in progress to complete. Do you get to complete? And that is how a project management tool works. It just helps you to track and organize the project. Do you understand? Hope you get it before I move forward. Hope you get it. Hope you get it. So this way, I'm able to manage my sprint. I'm able to manage my backlog. I'm able to, track issues. You understand? For example, I'm asking you to, no, you move them manually. And think of it, you can build a product where you move, automatically, but you move them manually. So now think of it. I have this list of stuff. Easily, I can come on this board, I can know that, oh, okay, this guy is working on this thing presently. Now, when I come here for after the end of today, maybe I've had my normal ritual with him, and he told me that today is going to work on this and we're going to finish it up. And I come here at the end of today, I still see this task under in progress. That gives me a clue that this person has not made progress. I can see that there's an issue with the task. Then I can go back and meet him. Guy, what's the issue with this task? You understand? So project management tools will help you to track, what you're working on. Do you get that? Do you get that? So can I continue? Can I move on? So same applies to Jira, Asana, all of these tools work the same way. Do you get? Do you get? So I can come here, move the task, or I have the engineer move the task. Once he has completed this task, we can move it. That way we're able to track progress on every of the task. Do you get? So hope you get it now. So am I free to continue? All right, let me log out of this place. All right. I hope that's clear. I hope that's clear. Oh, I should repeat. Oh my God, where do I start from? All right, this is all I've said. I said project management tools. They help you as a product manager to be able to manage your task, to be able to track your task, right? You can tell what is in progress, what is completed, what is yet to be completed. You can manage your backlog. You can have a list of things you want to do. And from that list of things, you can start to move cards around. You understand? So what I mean is that, so most of these tools are still manual, right? So I come on this platform, I come on this project management tool, I list out all the backlogs of things we want to do, right? And I assign it to each person that is supposed to do it. Now, it is expected that when this person wants to start to work on this thing, this task assigned to them, they come on this board, they move the task, they move it to in progress. So when I come on this board, I'm able to tell that, okay, this is what is currently ongoing. You understand? Now, when he is done with the task, he can move the task to completed, right? You can even add a column on that board and say QA, such that when it's completed, you can move the card to QA. That means that the QA engineer can now pick up this task and test. You understand? So this tool is just to help you manage your backlog, to track your progress. That's why it's called a project management tool. You understand? You understand? So it's just necessarily to help you track the progress. In fact, you can use these tools to even track your own personal day-to-day life. You understand? I think there was a time I used Trello board, right? Okay. So there was a time I used Trello board to even track my life, because at that time I think I got really busy and I had a lot of things I was doing, right? So I needed to, every day that I wake up, I needed to plan my day. So I come to the Trello board, I list out the things I want to accomplish for the day, and I start to move things around. So when I'm done with each of the tasks, I move it to completed. You understand? So you can use it. It's just a project management tool just to help you manage your day-to-day activity. You understand? You understand? So that's just what the project management tool does for you. It helps you manage your backlog, helps you, track the progress of your work. Are we clear now? Are we clear now, please? Are we clear now? Can I continue? All right, great. All right, great. So can we continue, please? So they are just, all right, great. They are just project management tools that we use to, manage our task. All right. So hey, now it's about to get a little more interesting. But don't worry, I've got you. All right, we also have these version control tools. We have tools that developers use, right? We have the GitHub. Don't worry, calm down. We have GitHub, Bitbucket. Just calm down. Calm down, eh? I can see your faces. You are starting to look some kind of way when you are hearing Git. Don't worry. I will explain it to you. Right? So let me think of how I can bring it to you with simplicity and with power. Yes. So the thing is, all of these tools, all of the project management tools, they work alike, right? All project management tools work alike. Be it Jira, be it Trello, be it Asana, be it anything, ClickUp. They are just task boards where you move your task around. Where you move your tasks around, they are just the same. So this is A lot of times when I teach people, I usually like to teach them with Asana because Asana looks very simple. And when you get the basic, although some people think I'm wrong, but then the truth is when you know how to work on with one of the tools, you can literally find your way around every other tools because they work the same way. Now, for example, in fact, some companies have started building their own project management tools, right? Like the last company I worked with, the last UK company I worked with, they had their own internal tool that they were working with. You understand? They built an in-house tool. So once you have an idea of what it looks like, right? It's just basically assigning tasks, moving tasks around. That's literally it. So once you know how to work around Jira, once you know how to work around Asana, ClickUp, you can actually work around every tool. Do you get? Hope we are clear. All right. So let me continue. So we have these version control tools, right? So calm down. I know I've said Git, I've said GitHub, and Bit. Some people might not have heard it before, right? So now imagine writing a book with a group of friends. Hmm? Just imagine when you are much younger, right? And you like to write novels. Right? I know ladies like that stuff a lot. You want to write novels, and you're writing it with a group of your friend, right? So, but each person have their own version, right? Have their own copy. You understand? So you guys are writing books together, but maybe someone is writing chapter one. Mosumola is writing chapter one. Dr. Ronke is writing chapter two. Shiamaka is writing chapter three. But you guys are writing the book together, right? So these version control tools, right? They help you keep track of all the changes each person make to the book. Let me come again. So Mosumola is on GitHub. Shiamaka is on GitHub. Dr. Ronke is on GitHub. Now imagine that is a notebook, right? Imagine that is a notebook, and all of you are writing in that book. But then in that same book, I give you page one, write in page one, right? I give Mosmola page one, write in page one. I give Dr. Ronke page two, write in page two. And now give Chiamaka page three to write in page three, right? Now everybody is writing their own on their own copy, right? So this version control, right? What they do is they help us to keep track of every changes that each person makes to the book. Do you get? So if Chiamaka makes a change, now the thing is, all of this book we are writing together, right, is to make up our storybook, right? Maybe somehow Chiamaka makes a change to his own copy of that book. I'm able to easily see that okay, oh, Chiamaka has made a change to that copy of the book. Now let me explain how this works, right? So GitHub is where all code drafts are saved. You understand? Every code that your engineer has written, right, is saved on the GitHub. Now, on that GitHub, as much as you have access to it, everybody can see what you have written. You understand? We can see what everybody had done. It's just like me seeing what you have written in chapter one, chapter two, and chapter three, right? So, in the case where somebody makes a change, right? I can easily see that, okay, it is Mosumola that made the change to that code. You understand? Do you get it? Now, I know I really have to slow down in this place. But do you get it? Or do you want me to go over it again? All right. Do we get it? Now, okay, great. I'm happy you got it. So I know a lot of times you say you hear developers and you might not have heard them. You say, give me access to the repo. When they say repo, they are just saying repository, and that's where the code is stored, right? Codes are stored on the repository, right? GitHub is where the codes are stored. You understand? So Chiamaka writes a code, Tola writes a code, they are all stored on the GitHub, right? You give them access to the repository, they store their code. Now let me calm down and explain how it works on a normal day. So this is it. My engineer starts to write their code, right? And they push the code, right, to Git. So anybody can go on that GitHub and see whatever they are written. You understand? I'll see that Tola had written this line of code, right? Sumbo had written this line of code. You understand? You get? So I'm trying not to. I would have talked about some other things like branches and all, but then let's take it a step at a time. So now, so as a product manager, I might also be given access to that Git, right? To that repo, right, where they are writing their nonsense, their code. So I can easily see that Tola was the one who wrote this code. Titi was the one who made a change to this code. You understand? You understand? So, in other words, Git is just like a book where everybody is coming to write their story. You understand? It's like a book where everybody is coming to write their story, right? It's a book where is a storage. Let me use that word where every of your developers are storing their code. Do you get that? Do you get that? Do you get that, please? I need to be sure that you're getting it, please. It's very, very important to me. All right. I need like 2 comments to be sure that you're getting. Are you getting it, please? Okay. So usually I see things like give us a link to your Git, right? Which I don't think for me personally, I think that what do I want to? So they can give me access to Git, right? To GitHub, right? To review to see what my engineers are doing. I don't write code. So what am I storing on GitHub? You understand? I don't write code. So, but then I can have access to, Git, right? Access to maybe personal project that my engineers are working with. But I don't see that need to, give anybody a link to any GitHub, right? If you need something from me, ask me for a link to my portfolio, right? To what I've done, apps I've built. Ask me for links to the app that I've worked on. You understand? So let me move to the next. We have CI/CD tools. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, just calm down. Now, a lot of times you hear, when you get on the job, you hear, let's set up CI/CD. Set up CI/CD. Now, what that one does, right? They are like robots that automate things, right? They are like robots that automate things. Let me use that word, right? They automate the process of testing, and deploying code. You understand? Tools like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Cycle CI, right? They are CI/CD tools, right? GitHub Actions, Jenkins, they are like they are like they are CI/CD tools. And what they really do is just to help you automate process, right? The process of testing and deploying your code, because it helps you to be sure that everything works before you release the code, right? Right? Let me see how I can explain. Hmm. So you see a lot of times that engineers will tell you that the build failed, right? The build has failed. They tell you that the build is not coming up. The kinikon, all of those stories. Now, when developers write their code, hmm, when they write a new code, you see these tools immediately test their code, right, to catch any error. Do you get? To catch any error. So if it passes the test, now the new code will be added to the app. So, for example, they want to make an improvement to an app, or they want to add some new line of stuff to an app, right? Or write a new line of code, add a new feature to an app. Now, what these CI/CD tools will do, you know it, when the engineer has written the code, right? Before they deploy, before they go and globalize, allow me to use that word, what is already existing. So those CI/CD tools, right, will test the code and immediately catch if there are any error. You understand? So the new code they've written will not be able to move. They will not be able to deploy the new code to the app, right? Until they made their fixes. So the CI/CD tools are usually tools that helps to test, and catch error. Do you get that? Do you get that? All right. All right. So I'm trying to give you the peripheral, the basics of all of these things, right? And it's fine if you don't get it now. You get it with time. You understand? You get it with time. You see, some of these things too, honestly, some of these things, it took a while for me to even understand them, right? It took a while for me to understand. Even I am still learning. These days, I've started to work closely with DevOps engineers. DevOps engineers are really the ones in charge of deployment, setting up some of these pipelines, and all of these things. So I'm starting to work closely with them so that I'll understand some of these things, right? So I'll start to understand things like Kubernetes, um, what's it called? AWS and all of those stuff. So it's fine. So just take it at this peripheral and you can build up on them, right? You can build up on them. You understand? But I hope you get it. So think of CI/CD tools are the tool that help you, that automatically test your developer's code, right? Automatically test your developer codes to catch any error. You get, to catch any error, right? To make sure that person cannot deploy until he has corrected the error. You understand? So um code reviews. I think I've mentioned this, but let me go into it. So we have certain custom, right? In development. When a developer writes a line of code, right? When he writes his logic, there's always this thing of having to review the code. One, you review code, everything is complex, but we learn it. It's broken down and we learn it, right? So, oh God, we have gone past our break time, and you people did not tell me. All right, so let me leave you guys for now. Go and take your break, and we'll come back and continue, right? So go to your break. You people don't want to go to break. Go to break and come back. All right, so let me give you some minutes. Go and drink cold water, and we'll come back, right? We'll continue from where we stopped. All right. All right, go and drink cold water and come back. So we'll reconvene by All right, welcome back, my people. Tell your neighbor you are welcome in the name of the Lord. And give your neighbor a hug. All right. Welcome your neighbor in the name of the Lord, oh, and give that your neighbor a hug. Welcome your neighbor in the name of the Lord. Are we back? Can anybody hear me, please? I mean, we have gone to eat Eba. I'm looking at the chat, so welcome yourself now. Very easy. Good. I put my charger since. And the guy welcome your neighbor now. You people, don't you like your neighbors? All right, so let's move so that I can go and eat before I faint. All right, welcome everybody. It's nice to have you back. So let's go back to our conversation, right? So I was talking about code review, right? So the essence for code review is now your fellow engineer tries to review the code you have written, right? Just to ensure that your code, the quality of your code is good, to ensure that there is no mistake. It's just like when you write your book, when you finish writing your novel, and you ask your friend, Titi, please help me read through this my novel. Have I made any grammatical blunder? Do you think that the grammatical expressions are good? Do you think my work is well punctuated? Same applies to development, right? So they want to review the code to be sure that they had written a good code. So how does this work? Right, a lot of time before codes are deployed. So usually in a normal setting, it's either two ways, right? For junior developers, right, there is always this senior developer who reviews their code, right? So there's something called pull request. Pull request. I know a lot of times as you go in the journey, you hear something like PR, I've reached a PR, I've reached a PR, please merge my PR, merge my PR, merge my PR, I've raised PR. And what this means is that pull request is I have raised a request for you to be able to merge my code. And the reasons why you have to raise a PR before they merge your code is because you want that person who would merge your code to actually have a look through your code, right? And all these are done with GitHub, GitLab. So you raise a PR, that superior person or your orga or the head of technology takes a look at your code just to ensure that this code is properly written, the code meets the standard of the company. You understand? Before it's being added to the app or the software you're trying to build. Another thing for maybe senior developers, for example, we have two senior developers. You can call your friend, Alayafa, come and help me review this code I've written, right? I've even seen cases where, a very senior developer had maybe his colleague review the code and the person is telling this person is telling what's it called, the colleague, that guy, why don't you use this logic, why don't you use this method, this process is too long, why can't you do it this way, this is not properly handled this way, can you do it this way, you understand, can you properly handle it this way, you understand. We have had cases like that. So is this just like that? So the essence of code review is just to make sure that you're able to, someone is able to look through what you have written. You understand? Do you get that? And these are also done with these tools like GitHub, right? GitLab. Do you get? Do you get it, please? Do you get it? So let me come again. So these code review tools, right? Their work is simple. They just allow developers to review each other's code, right? Discuss better way they could write their code, you know, discuss any changes that need to be made on the code. You get? So that the app can be safe, right? And make, you know, they don't want to have bugs. They don't want people to write nonsense. And that's the essence of these persons. Do you get it? Do you get it? All right, so great. So we also have monitoring tools, right? There are a lot of them. I just gave examples like the real New Relic, Datadog. Well, it's plenty. Like it's plenty. So these tools are just like health monitor for app. The same way you go to the hospital and you scan your body, you check for your health to see how well you are doing. Maybe you are sick. Maybe your vitals are, you know, that's the same way apps too. You know, we monitor their health, right? We monitor their health. We monitor their health. You know, profile service. How is profile service doing? Is it 92%? Is it what is the percentage? Profile service, onboarding service. How is it doing? You understand? Like that. You know, corporate service. How is it doing? So these tools are usually used to monitor the health of an app, right? New Relic, Datadog, you can research for more tools like that. So, but New Relic, Datadog are just my examples for today, right? You want to track how well your app is performing. You understand? You want to track how well. Okay, is the service down? Is the service up? You understand? So before customers will start to complain that we can't log in, you know, tools like this can easily tell you that profile service is down. You understand? Onboarding is down. It can easily tell you that you know, corporate service is down, OTP service is down. So immediately you see that your health checker, you know, these apps that is helping you monitor the health of your app already tells you that OTP service, so you don't blink. You understand? Sends you notification that OTP service is already blinking. You wouldn't have your customers come and tell you that, we cannot have OTP. You people are wicked. You people are evil, useless app. You know, these tools will already help you to be able to track the health of your app. You get? So, for example, if an app suddenly becomes slow, you get? These tools will help the team entirely to find out what is causing the problem so that they can easily go and fix it. You know, there was a day like that at work, and I just went to the tech support people, right? In one of the enterprises I work for. How are we doing today? Any complaint from the customer yet? He said, okay, well, there are 2 complaints. This. Immediately, I went to my DevOps engineer. Alpha, are the services up and running? What is wrong? Immediately they checked, they saw that this thing is up. So in case like I can easily see that, okay, something is down. Let us, that case, we have to restart this, we have to restart some services. You understand? You were able to easily know, okay, what can I do? What should I do at this moment? You understand? You don't want to wait for your customers to start to bombard. And you know Nigerians, they don't have joy. They'll come and swear for you. If they transact yesterday and it was fine, and they start having issues today, be sure that before noon, and you don't fix it on time, before noon, they will start to curse you. So these are what these tools help you for, right? They help you monitor the how your app is doing. You understand? You don't want to wait for till customers start to have awkward experiences on your app. So these tools will help you monitor it without causing another you know another drama. Do you get it? Do we get it? Oh, are we getting it? All right. So are we getting the place? Okay, great. All right. Usman said yes. So, all right. So for the last tool that we'll be considering today, or that I would have loved to show you some other things like some of the tools on the Chrome on that we have on Chrome and all of that. All right, but let's look at the test tool that we'll be considering today. The testing tool. We have tools like Selenium, JUnit, yeah, just a lot of them, Cypress. But I give you just these two. Just hold that two. Now think of these tools as testers, right? They try out your app, right, before launching it, right? These tools, think of them like when you see tools like Selenium, when you hear of these tools, think of them as testers, right? Think of them as testers, And what they do is they help you try out your app, right? And make sure everything works before you launch it. So they are usually used for automated testing. You understand? What I mean is they test your app, right, to be sure that nothing is broken. Your codes are still intact. Now, how do I explain this? Okay, it's just like you know test driving. All these big companies when they produce their cars, right? They first of all go and test drive before they start to give it to customers. Just imagine that, for example, Tesla. They didn't test drive Tesla. They just start selling it to you, and you went to buy one, and you enter the car. You told the car that you are going straight, and the car is carrying you inside bush. How would you feel? So what these tools like Selenium, JUnit, what they do is they test the app to be sure that new code would not break anything. You understand? To be sure that, so for example, when a new code is added to the code base, tools like this will test the app to be sure that okay, well, this new code has not broken something. You understand? So just think of them like that. That's what they do. They make sure new code does not break anything. So think of it like you are test driving. Here you get. So let me give a simpler explanation. Now, for example, if you added a new feature to allow people, maybe before, just you are collecting ID numbers, just ID number, right? ID number, you understand, and just for validation. So someday you now thought that okay, well, let's even take their IDs, let them upload their IDs for record purpose, or so that we can always match their image to our image, right? To be sure that people are to be able to reduce the chances for fraud, right? So you build that new feature to upload photos. You know what tools like Selenium will do? Selenium will test that new feature you just added to be sure that your new feature works well and does not break what already exists. Do you get it now? So that's what these two does. Do you get it? So have I successfully explained all of these tools to you? Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I've explained some of these tools to you now. Right. So um like I've said, is okay. It's beautiful to not have heard this thing before. It's beautiful to not have known what these are before. Myself, I didn't know a lot of these things until some months, some years into the space, right? Into the space. So it's very okay not to know, right? It's very okay not to know. You understand? It's very okay. It's very, very okay not to know. So, how does these things work together? You start your planning with Jira, with Asana, with Trello. You understand? You want to see what GitHub looks like. I don't have access to that on this PC. I'm sorry. So you can just type GitHub on Google, right? They will probably ask you to sign up. Type it on Google and check. You can check it out. You can sign up and check how it looks like. So how this thing works. So it was easier for me to show you ClickUp, Asana, because those are like tools that I use. Like those are like my core tools, right? Like my core tools. So it's easy for me to open up any project and show it to you guys. Not like GitHub. All right. So I don't think I have a personal GitHub or a personal whatever web project is on. And of course, you don't want me to go to jail showing you. All right. So, what was I saying? So I was trying to explain how they all work together, right? So you plan your task in Jira, you develop your code with GitHub, you test with Jenkins, you deploy updates, you monitor with new relics. You understand? You plan your task, the core of your job. Plan your task, document and all of that. You do that with Jira, with Asana, Trello, or whichever one your organization is using. And they go into development. Your engineers develop their code. Their code is stored on the GitHub. They test. The codes are being tested with Jenkins. You understand? They deploy the updates, right? They deploy their updates. After they have deployed it, it's being monitored in New Relics and all those other monitoring tools that I've mentioned to you. So that's just how the dev tool works. You understand? The Devflow tools work. You understand? So you plan it. After you plan, engineers develop. When they are done developing, they deploy whatever they have developed. Right? After deployment, before they deploy, they test what they have deployed so that they won't deploy nonsense. You know, that's where the whole CI/CD thing comes in. Test whatever deployment, deploy their update. When they have deployed it, you have your tools that monitor the health of your app, right? To be sure that your app is not sick. So do you get it? Do you get it? So that's basically how. So there, okay, sorry. So there is this non-disclosure agreement that most organizations um, have with employees, right? So there are some things that you cannot expose. It's more like company secret. You can't show it to people, right? So, but then, the reason why I have some things to show is because I have some side projects that I don't have any NDA signed for, so it's easy for me to share that. Nobody can sue me for that. But for enterprises and you know organizations that you can't just share their resources like that. It's criminal. You can be sued for it as much as you signed their NDA agreement. All right. So that's what it is, Esther. That's why I'm very careful with some of the things I share. Do you get? All right, but it's all fine. But it's all fine. It's all what? It's all fine. Okay. So do you have any question? As a product manager, is it mandatory to use all these tools? So now let me help you. You see, these tools is just like me giving you exposure into what happens. As a product manager, the core of your job is planning, right? Listen, yeah, it depends. It's planning, right? You plan the project, you plan the product, you do your documentation, right? You validate the idea, you do your documentation, then you manage the development team, right? You make sure that everybody delivers on their job. You understand? You manage them and you manage your stakeholders. I've explained to us who stakeholders are, right? You have your internal stakeholders, your external stakeholders. Stakeholders are people that are important in your product life cycle, people that their influence matter in your product life cycle. You manage them, manage your entire team. You can work with the marketing team just to make sure that your product the core of your job is now build your product and your product works well. You build your product thinking about your users, right? Making sure that your users have good experience using your product. You understand? That's like the core of your job. You know, you plan, they give you an idea, you turn it into a product, and that product, you make sure that, and how do you turn it to a product? You work with your team, right? Your team, right, to actualize this. Now you have your development team that comprises of your engineers, the front end engineer, the back end engineer, the QA engineer, right? The engineer writes the code. You are not the one who writes the code, right? You just make sure that they know what they need to do. They understand what they need to do. They understand what the requirement of the product is. After they've written the code, the QA engineer tests whatever the engineer has built to be sure that we are good to go and we can give this to our customer. Now, the thing is, you are on top of these things. You are on top of whatever your developer is doing. You are on top of whatever your QA engineer is doing. You understand? Thinking about all through this process, you are thinking about your customer because you want all your end users to have a good experience, right? Now, when they give the customer your product that you have built, right, it is also your job to monitor how the customers are acting, you know, customers' behavior on the product. Are they getting used to this product? Are they enjoying this product? Are they coming on this product? Do we need to improve on this product? That's like the core of your job. So all of these tools are just additions, right? So that's the core of your job. So you knowing about all of these tools is just like giving you some heads up. You understand? Giving you some idea. You are not lost in between, you know, the circle. Do you get? So, but the core of your job is to turn idea into a product, turn the product, give it to your customers, and make sure your customer enjoy the product. That is where the success of your product is. Because if you even build a good product, but there are no users for the product, then you can't say you are successful. Because whatever gives you the accolades of being successful is the experience of your users on your platform. All right. So I hope I've answered your question. All right. So Capstone projects. All right. So let's get back to you on this your question, Jadisola. Let me speak with my Oga at the top. My Oga's at the top, and we get back to you on how you go about your Capstone project. All right. So any other question, please? Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? I should I should run and go and eat my eba. Okay. All right then. All right. So since we don't have any other question, but I've told you that I mean there are a lot of things I would like to share with you guys, but I'm looking forward to that mentoring time where I'll give you a run through my my journey, right? And how it has been 5 years into the product space. I've answered that the last question, Esther. You people want to set me up. All right. So I would believe that. So for that additional question, I've said that I would like ask my guy at the top, and they would guide on how you come about your capstone project. But this is my advice. This is my advice to everyone, right? And the advice I give to every product managers that have crossed my path, right? You have learned the different phases in product management, all these different stages, right? From idea validation, to to you know to your planning phase where you document, where you do your product requirement document, you write your user stories and all of that, down to development where your engineers start to write their code, and there's certain rituals you do like stand-ups, retrospective calls, sprint planning calls, and all of those calls you do in between to launching your product and what you do after you have launched your product, right? That's the post-launch, the whole monitoring to get feedback from users to see how well your users are doing. Now, this is my advice to you. Think of an idea in your mind, right? Think of a product you want to build, right? And go through all of this phase, right, with this product. Maybe, for example, this is not me telling you how the capstone is going to look like, right? We'll get back to you on that. But this is just my own advice to you. Think of an idea you want to really work on. Amaka, for the capstone project, my oga at the top will get back to you, right? But this is just take my own advice. Take my own advice. But I still believe that it might be the same approach you take. But take my own advice. This is me advising you, not directly answering your question, right? Think of an idea you want to build, right? Try to validate that idea. How do you validate the idea? I know they've taught you about market research. They've taught you how you do your survey. They've taught you about, all this SWOT analysis and all of those stuff, right? Do your survey. In fact, you can do something as simple as creating a Google form, sharing with your friends and family, asking them about that idea, right? You're trying to build, how valid they think it is, come up with your questionnaire questions. Now, this is the art. You might not have that luxury of audience, right? But the thing is, just try to have an idea of all of those faces. Just do it for doing sake. Now, when you do that, you now come back, now prepare your document, your product requirement document. You come up with the product requirement document. And your product requirement document just literally contains, some informations like, the product overview. What's the product about? Are you trying to build a mobile app, a web app that helps Esther gets food to eat, or what product are you trying to build? It talks about your target audience. Who are this target audience? Who are the people you are looking to reach out to for your product? You can include your user personnel. Now, your user personnel app defines the people that use your app. For example, Uber is a good example. Uber has 2 user personnel. Now, they have different target audience. It could be students, it could be bankers, but they have 2 user personas. These personas are riders, and drivers. Drivers are the people who drive the Uber, right? And riders are people who use the product. So how do you define your personnel, right? Who are the people who use your product, right? Are they buyers? So let me use another example. Jumia might have buyers and sellers. That's the way they define their users, right? Some people buy, some people sell. So how do you define these users? You can include that in your product requirement document. In your product requirement document, you can talk about, I think I've mentioned target audience. You can talk about your goals, right? Your product goals, right? You talk about the features, right? The features you want to have in your product, right? You talk about the features you want to have in your product. You write your use cases for each of these features, right? In your product requirement document. You talk about your competitors, right? Who are your competitors? your direct and indirect competitors. You talk about them in that product requirement document, right? So the essence of this product requirement document is literally to help people to have alignment. You can share this requirement document with your stakeholders, with your development team. Now they already have a picture of what you are trying to build. They can work with that document to give you what you have in mind, right? You come up with your product requirement document. You can try to learn how to write user stories. Just imagine that you're writing a user story for a developer who wants to write a code. You understand? Do that. When you do that, you have already done your day-to-day activity. So for me, for one, my day-to-day activity, right, at the start of every project, okay, great. So Bola has answered. So do all of these things. Do it for yourself. So the thing is, you can't get a dev team. Just imagine that you have a dev team. You can't get a dev team. Just imagine that you have a dev team. You understand? Imagine that you have a dev team. So all you are doing, of course, there is no dev team you want to share it with, but then just imagine you are sharing it with a dev team. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. Have imaginary dev team in your mind. You understand that you are providing your documentation and you're providing the user stories too. Yeah, so that's just it. So at the end of the day, you already have what's it called? A portfolio. You already have something you've worked on. You already have an idea. So when you get on a job, you can already start to work. You know, so for me, like I was saying, my day-to-day activity at the start of every project, that's like the most strenuous part for me. I start to document. Exactly. So thank you, Bolasto. So, my day-to-day job at the start of every project, I start to, prepare documents, do documentation, have like grooming section with my team to just make sure that they understand what I'm trying to do. I assign tasks to them. They start to work and I start to follow up with them. What have you done today? What are you working on today? Ask them for updates, through the project life cycle. They give me their update and what else? We go about it. I try to find out how my product is doing, right? So for a new product who has not reached the customer side, work with my development team, they build it out. My QA engineer test it. I follow up my QA engineer. What's the update? Are we good to go? When she confirms she's good to go, myself, I can do a smoke test, right? I can do a smoke test and try to, check the app myself. Then we launch the app. After they launch the app, I want to see how it's doing. I want to check for certain metrics to see, okay, are these people onboarding? What's the total number of people who have onboarded on this platform? Are people coming back on this platform? What feature are these people using the most? I check for certain metrics, and that's how I do. When I get my feedback, if I need to reiterate, if there's something I feel like a feature that they're not doing well with, I get back to it. I'm trying to reiterate. So for existing products, what I do on a day to day, I try to find out how well are we doing today. Are we good? Any comment from the customers? Any feedback? So that's literally my day to day job. If we need to enhance, build, additional features, we go back to the drawing board. I write out my documentation, give it to my developers. They start to build it out. The QA test it, and we push it to the customer. So that's literally how the day-to-day life of a product manager is. So are we clear? So try to do something across that phase. Thank God Bola Tito has said Leke and also, giving you assignments. So those assignments actually will be your capstone. Yeah, that's true. All right. All right. So are we good now? Are we good? Are we good, my people? Oh, okay. I mean, it's good you have a project you're working on. Blessing. Maybe you should send a mail to my ogas, and they can actually help you sort all of this out. All right, thank you guys. It's always nice talking to you people. Till we meet again. God knows where. Till we meet again, be good and keep building products. All right. All right. So Amaka, I'm going to respond to your requests. I'm going to respond to your request on LinkedIn, right? On LinkedIn. And I hope you are the only one who asked the request. Yeah, you can make yourself what's it called? Accountability partners now. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Let me go and eat before I faint. All right, be good. So as many people that reached out to me, I'll try to answer to do your biddings. Oh, Covenant, I've accepted. I think I've accepted your request on my LinkedIn. Or what's that word say? You guys have connected with everybody who has sent the request on LinkedIn. I've connected with everybody. So we're friends. So thank you very much, everybody. It's nice to have a chit chat with everybody. Good night. Enjoy your night rest. Be good.